You're listening to the Life of Lozo podcast.
We are live here at Life of Lozo.
He is the funniest, smartest, sexiest guy I know.
Lozo is now live.
Yo, on this week's podcast, we talk growing up in the 80s. I invite my friends Jason and Mike to discuss music, movies, TV shows, and fashion. We figure out which song Mike may have been conceived to, and Jason and I discuss the real reason for watching Who's the Boss. Hashtag Alyssa Milano. If you ever wore Z-Cal breeches or pinstripe starter jerseys and played 2 Minutes in Heaven, this show is for you. Thank you to our sponsors, State 2 Studios, The Taylor Shop Inc., 03 Productions, The Beer Brigade, Rhyme Designs Clothing, and Jack Sports Nutrition. Let's go. Yo, 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 Life of Lozo. We are here traveling this week on the other side of the country and hanging out with my boy Jason and Mike, and we're talking the 80s today. Today's episode. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello. So Jason and I were chopping up a little bit yesterday, hanging out, talking some trash, and
that never happens.
It never happens.
Never.
And we started talking about the 80s and growing up in the 80s as kids, and then we decided to bring Mike along. A little bit of a young buck. But he remembers some parts of the 80s.
Toddler through the 80s.
but this is iconic stuff here. So yeah, we just have some conversation. And so in the spirit of the 80s, I took 4 categories: music, television, movies, and fashion. And I
some of this stuff we don't want to remember.
Yeah, I do. Just wait, right?
Just saying.
It's gonna be like 80s confessional right now, right? But there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of stuff I had to cut out that I was like, oh, I want to keep that song, but
the
gotta
80s were the shit, man.
Yeah.
How do you cut out so much stuff that influenced what happens today?
Of course. Well, I mean, like, if you look at each decade, obviously there's influences that happen. But I think the idea, for me anyway, growing up in the 80s, and like, you think of like MTV, you think of like even a Sports Center, like kind of came into the end of the 80s. Like a lot of things happened in that era that kind of just defined what was going on, especially specifically from like a media television standpoint, movie standpoint.
Absolutely.
So cool. All right, well, we'll just go ahead and jump right in then.
Let's do it.
So we're talking about music.
Here we go.
We're talking about music. And I pulled up VH1's top 100 songs of the 80s. I went through them.
VH1.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I had to go there, right? There's some that I just changed. I was like, I listen to that song too much.
Not that one.
But I pulled 20 here. So we'll just start at the top of the list and we'll start talking.
All right.
So first song I got is Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer.
Oh. Absolutely amazing.
We're halfway there.
Life changing.
Yeah. Johnny used to work on the dock. The union's been on strike. I think he's down on his luck. It's tough.
It's tough.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, so tough. So yeah, Bon Jovi, obviously, like major hair band of the 80s, and I remember that year, I think that album came out in 86, but like that Christmas, like myself and 3 of my cousins, we all got Slippery When Wet, the cassette tape, for Christmas that year.
Of course it was a cassette.
Yeah, of course it had to be.
I think I bought that thing like 4 times.
Yeah, right.
Because it put, it's always on the dash of your car.
Right.
Or something like that. And then you're like, okay, we're buying it again.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like, I don't know, Bon Jovi just timeless, that era. Yeah.
I can tell you that like when that hit, every girl wanted to hear Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
And you could just ride the coattails.
Yeah.
All you had to do was play it.
Right.
It.
But you were a gutar player.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. You know.
I didn't play guitar, so I had to learn how to dance and like mimic in like, I remember we used to put on like little concerts in our basement in Michigan, and it would be like we would play like Bon Jovi. We do a concert for Bon Jovi. We might do a concert for like Fine Young Cannibals.
There you go.
we might do. There may have been this is like later on. There may have been a homeboy white long sleeve T-shirt dancing to very potentially could have happened. Thank God those VHS tapes have been destroyed at this point. But
see, I'm gonna come at it from a different angle because Bon Jovi for me is the ultimate drunk drunk guy in the bar karaoke song. So while I didn't grow up with that song playing in real life, like I've heard it many times done terribly.
No, because that guy is still stuck in the 80s.
Yeah,
like he won't leave.
Uncle Rico.
That guy's like, no, this is my jam. This is it. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Okay. All right. So we'll move on to song number 2. Pour Some Sugar on Me by Def Leppard.
Oh, God.
Step inside, walk this way, you and me, babe. Hey! And that dude played drums with one arm.
One arm, 16 pedals.
Yeah. You know, here's the crazy part. Full circle, right? Just saw them in Rockville 4 weeks ago. Literally. And, yeah, like crazy. Like still rocking it. The crowds were a huge headlining act.
Yeah.
The Def Leppard, man. I mean, come on.
Dude, it's iconic.
Yeah, Hysteria, that album, same thing, just crazy, big hair.
But like they were hitting their stride at that point because Def Leppard was there before.
Yeah.
But that was like for people that were like seriously into like metal, right? Like or what they considered metal at the time.
Right.
But then they hit, Pour Some Sugar on Me, and all of a sudden every radio station carried it every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
But that's one of those bands that brought me into that genre, and like growing up in a rock household.
Yeah.
Like, I remember listening to that album and thinking like that's the guys that I want to be.
Right.
when I grew up, and watching everything, all the hype surrounding them, and everything that they were able to accomplish with just the hysteria of the Hysteria album. It was amazing.
That's true. No, I'm a huge Def Leppard fan. I'm not gonna lie.
Of course.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
All right. How about this? Hungry Like a Wolf, Duran Duran.
Oh, God. So, like, everybody had that hairdo, right?
Yep.
And everybody was, like, trying to dress that way. And it's sad now, like, to think about it. But at the time, like, you would do anything, like, just to have that vibe.
Yeah. Right. No, Mike,
No,
not so
you're
much.
not.
Not so much. Yeah.
I'm not sure I've even.
It was. There was like that. I don't know how would you even explain that genre of rock? Because there was like what I would say, I don't know, like I always think of like Duran Duran and like NXS and like a couple more bands that like were all kind of that same like softer side of storytelling rock.
Yeah. They were musical.
Yeah.
Right. So they didn't hit you in the face.
Right.
But they had a cool hook.
Yeah. Yeah, very commercial and very like.
I think they were more like
pop rock kind of.
They were like kind of created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like, this is what you're gonna do.
All right. Okay, I'll go with that. All right. How about Billie Jean by Michael Jackson?
Like the video. Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
Like.
She was more than beauty queen.
Like that was when Michael was Michael.
But here's the best.
That's before he went to the other side.
The funniest thing about this song, Billie Jean, right, is the actual content of the song.
Is it nothing?
Right? It's like I'm not your baby daddy. That's the song. The song is I'm not your baby daddy.
Yeah.
Right? Like literally.
Coming from Michael.
Coming from Michael Jackson, right? Like I'm not your baby daddy.
I think he wasn't.
Yeah, but he did it in such a cool way that it was like, yeah, okay, cool, I believe you.
You got no choice.
Yeah. It was kind of like it was like the Bill Clinton theme song. Right? Like if you can fast forward later on, right?
Yeah.
But with Michael, it sounded so good that I don't think it mattered what the content was. Like you could listen to the lyrics, but like the way he presented it was so good.
Any he could just make sounds on records.
Exactly.
Yeah. Part of that was what he was grabbing and created some of that sound. But,
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, obviously, classic Michael Jackson. It wasn't. I want to say that was like one of the most like biggest albums of all time.
Yeah, Thriller.
Yeah, I think it like sold most records of all time.
Yeah,
I think that's still the record. Yeah, but yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's still like I forget how like I saw some documentaries recently just about him in the studios and like how creative he was, how he was involved in every aspect of the music.
He's a genius.
Yeah, I
like,
mean, just a musical savant.
How he actually would tell the bass player, this is the how you hit it.
Right. Yeah, it was that same documentary.
And
right.
He can't play bass.
Right.
Like, he was not like that, but he could hear it, and it was like It wasn't until you hit that bass just right that he was like, that's it. And I always loved him because, you know, you take somebody that was making that type of music, he always had guitar. Right? Whether it was like, you know, Eddie Van Halen playing the solo, Jennifer Batten, who's like crazy through the 80s, like doing just stuff that nobody else could be doing, you know, graduate of Musicians Institute, all that stuff. But like, he's like one of the true artists that kept every instrument where it should be.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Very good call. All right. How about Prince, When Doves Cry?
Doves cry. I mean, it's Prince. What, like, like, what do you want? Like, you know.
Again, another musical savant and like somebody amazing. I think it was an interview. It was right after he passed, and they were showing a lot of interviews and things they had done with people. I think it was Eric Clapton. I think they asked. They were like, "What's it like being like the greatest guitar player in the world?" And his response, he goes, "I don't know. Ask Prince."
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? And just the fact that like he would show up at gigs and he would show up with bands and he would just like play and just any instrument and just step up and all of them. Like he, you know, do the entire record himself and then bring in session players to actually like go and tour with him and play them.
Yeah. And then just leave.
Right.
Like, because he wasn't like all about the fame and like all that other stuff. He was like, I want to make this music. I want to, you know, create this message, and then I want to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. How about some Hall & Oates? I can't go for that. Can't go for that. No can do.
Okay. All right, Mike's got it.
Mike's got it.
All right.
So this is the genre of music that I grew up with. My mom listened to soul and listened to music like Hall & Oates and Marvin Gaye and Otis Redding and all these people.
Might have been the song you were conceived to.
Oh, she went for that. Oh yes. Yes, she did.
Listen, it very well may be, but that's the music that I grew up with, like understanding in that era and listening to that sound. And it was not like anything else that I heard because again I grew up in Florida, so that type of music wasn't popular in the area that I grew up.
In Florida, like I don't know, like 8 years behind. I'm from California,
right.
So like I remember I'd go on vacation or go on a trip, and I'd listen to the radio, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
There was like Florida's funny because like the birthplace of some southern rock and stuff. When you think of like Lynyrd Skynyrd and Tom Petty, like there's a lot of good artists that came out of here, but I think you're right. Like I think also you look at like California, you look at New York, like there's progressive music towns that kind of are setting the curve for where everything goes sound wise.
Yeah.
But
I guess that was just the luxury of being in Southern California.
Yeah,
like,
that's
you
true.
know, it was like always the new stuff.
Of course.
But then, we went to vacation to Utah, and I was like, I'm not sure what ABBA's doing on, but like, you know, Dancing Queen's
California's
fantastic.
where it all started. I mean, my favorite genre of music is metal, and Metallica in 1983 started in San Francisco. And that's where that became life when you actually had to play music in order to get your music out there.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that not a lot of that came into Florida, at least in my generation, until later in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and again, I think Metallica too. Just speaking to them, I don't have them on this list.
They should be.
I understand.
Yeah, they didn't hit it.
Thank you. All right, I was going to say they had multiple albums, but we really weren't talking about Metallica till like early '90s.
Yeah.
And to the Sandman and that type of stuff. But anyway, I digress. We'll stick to our list.
There we go.
So going from maybe being conceived with Hall & Oates, we're going to go to "Sweet Child of Mine" by Guns N' Roses.
Oh God. How many people lost their virginity to that? You got Slash. Like I remember waiting in line to get Appetite for Destruction, and just listening to it, and then rewinding it, and then listening to it, and there's just playing guitar, trying to figure out what that lick was, and you know. And then when you finally actually get it, then you're like, okay, and now it sounds nothing like Slash, so it doesn't matter. So,
right.
Yeah, but
I mean, come on, Guns N' Roses, come on now. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, so like we have a book, like a children's book that I read to the girls, right? And it's called "Sweet Child of Mine," right? And you read the book,
but it has the F,
right? That's what it is, right? But you read the whole book, and it talks about like loving the child and doing all these things, and the last part of it is like Sweet Child of Mine, right? And every time I read the book, I get to the end and I flip the last page and I go, oh, sweet child of mine. And I close the end of the book, right? That's how I end the story every time, right? I can't not just say it. I have to sing it, that last page.
Dude,
so
that's going to be like socially programmed into.
Which I'm fine with.
Absolutely.
Come on. I grew this beard just so I could shave it off and scare the hell out of Monday. All right, Mike, this one's for you. Like a Virgin by Madonna, 1984.
Well played.
1 year.
I hope so. Yes. Yeah, the Madonna craze.
Oh, like
Detroit representing.
Yeah, she was like banned from all different kinds of stuff at that time.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that was like one of the first times where like social movements, like around pop and everything else, like.
Oh, she was doing those concerts, she was, like, dry humping the beds, and they were trying to shut it down. Yeah. She couldn't perform in some states, I think.
Oh, yeah, you know, and that's when she was, it was that tour that she had the Beastie Boys opening for her.
Yeah.
With their big, huge inflatable penises and everything else.
Yes.
And everybody's like, I'm not sure what's happening here.
What is going on here? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think, she really, obviously she pushed the envelope, and she really did a lot to promote herself that way, and I think found a niche and took off with it.
I think it worked.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, it worked. Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Mm-hmm. All right. Walk This Way by Run DMC.
Oh God. Like there's, so being the metal guy, right?
Right.
Like, so I loved it, and I remember, you know, trying to break dance in my grandmother's living room, you know, to like Run DMC and stuff like that. But then Aerosmith's version came out, like, and hit that rock part of it too. But that song, like, just redefined that whole genre.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, two mega powers kind of like colliding and working together.
Yeah.
And that video and everything. I mean, just
breaking through the wall.
Yeah, kicking through it, and just like the whole hip hop and rock movement. Yeah, that whole thing was. Yeah.
You know, and that just created something that nobody else was doing, or nobody else had really thought of.
Yeah.
Right, and then so much that was just like that came out afterwards. Right. So once again, it was like. That's where it started with that.
Kind of that spark of crossover.
Yeah.
Nope.
Fantastic.
Okay. AC/DC, You Shook Me All Night Long.
AC/DC, I mean, it's hard. It's hard now, right? But when you look at Angus Young and his little boy outfits and everything else, right? You know, and you've got your parents who be like, you can't listen to that, and now it's just, you know, pretty comical about the whole thing, but like hard as shit.
Yep.
Like
crazy.
Yeah.
Knocking me out with those American stuff. Yeah.
I mean, you know, also just saying probably the most boring bass and drum, you know, tracks in the history of music. Yeah. But it worked. Yeah. No, that is, and that's like 1980. Like that's the kicker of like air guitar and like just I don't know. Like it was just that was a big movement. Yeah.
Big AC/DC fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Saw them in concert twice.
All right. So how about some "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey?
So that's it. Like that's the other side of the 80s, right? You know, so you had the people that were hitting it hard, and then Journey just completely on its own over here, but keeping that some of that like stuff from the 70s still kind of alive, right? It's that kind of bridge from, you know, a lot of the things that were going on. You know, you think of Chicago and, you know, some of those other things, and it was just like, hey, like we can add a little bit of rock to it but still be ridiculously melodic, and you know, Steve Perry with
absolutely vocals, crazy, right. It was cool to see that. Like there's always been like I think a historic like classic song, but to see how they used it at the end of like The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Just like that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, kind of breathe some life back into it. Yeah. You know, a little bit. But I know coming from Michigan and Detroit and like that whole like Detroit Rock City element and like a lot of the movement of there, like that's just a classic song, and obviously it calls out, you know, the city and everything in the song.
You know, and that's the difference. Like, you know, think about the 80s and me being from Southern California versus what was happening like in Detroit or, you know, some of those other places. Like, you know, you can still hear the sounds of those cities and what was happening in those cities. You know, LA was just falling apart with, pushing the envelope and, how harder can it be? How faster can it be?
Sure.
Where Detroit was still like, hey, we've got these like really great roots.
Right.
Like, let's not.
Soul and
let's
Motown.
not abandon that.
Yeah.
So.
Not that Journey was from Detroit. I just don't. It's
no.
Detroit. Right. But I agree with you. Yeah. Like, I think different elements of the country were kind of like doing their thing and kind of growing from whatever was planted there initially. So, yeah. Okay. How Will I Know by Whitney Houston. Did you play that on guitar?
No. But I made out to a girl.
Was it what was the closet game? I remember you had to go to closet for like 2 minutes.
That spin the bottle type stuff.
Yeah, well, we just spin the bottle, but it was always like 2 minutes of terror. I can't remember what the hell it was. 2 minutes of heaven. That's what it was. I call it 2 minutes of terror. Right. Yeah. Damn it. Damn it. Right. Exactly. Damn it. Yeah, 2 minutes of heaven, man. That was
that's like middle school dances. And, let's head out back behind the bleachers and see where this goes. Kind of stuff.
Mostly, I got to first, and I'm trying to steal second. Negative Ghost Rider. Thrown out.
At that time, you're just like, I made it to first.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, that was... Okay, yeah. So now that same line then, how about Walk Like an Egyptian by the Bangles?
That's who you wanted to make out with, everybody in the Bangles.
Bangles, yeah. Right? Walk like an Egyptian.
Dude, that song was dope. Like,
it was.
Yeah, the video for it.
Yeah, the whole
that's
concept.
the thing about the 80s, right? Like, I think of every one of these songs, and I can remember sitting there waiting for the video.
Yeah. Well, right? As I said, that was the MTV, like that launch and that whole visual element of music, I think was redefining.
Yeah, I was there when MTV came on, right? I went from static to MTV, right? Uh-huh. And so... Yeah, every single time, every song we're talking about, that's what I think of.
Yeah, the visual.
Like, and once again, it's like, how long do I have to wait?
Right.
To get those 4 videos that I wanted to see that day.
All right. Jump by Van Halen.
Favorite. I'm a guitar player.
Yeah.
Come on, Eddie doing his thing, jumping around. It's
David Lee Roth.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Which is not the David Lee Roth of today, but that's a whole different.
Well, that's a whole different story. Yes.
I digress.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that's the 80s. Like guys in spandex pants.
Yep.
And bandanas tied to every ligament.
Anywhere I could bend.
Yeah. Anyway, exactly. You're right. Everybody looked like the Ultimate Warrior on WWF. Streamers coming off your elbows and knees and ankles. Yeah.
Fireworks and jump, man.
Yeah,
Van
Halen. Okay. All right. How about this? Oof, now talking about videos.
Oh.
Here I Go Again by Whitesnake.
The most watched video by all kids in the 80s.
I remember I had that cassette tape, and I remember like going to my bedroom sometimes, and I would put on my Walkman, my Sony Walkman,
of course,
and rewind that song over and over again. Yes, with the orange, with the orange sponge muffs on it. Yeah. And I would sing that song like I was like performing on stage somewhere, like top of my lungs, and I wasn't like, you can hear my voice. I got this voice like 5th grade, right? I have no business trying to sing Here I Go Again, right? At 4 octaves up, right? But I just remember just owning it.
Just going
for it. Because I can't hear myself.
No.
Right? But everybody else can.
It didn't matter.
Right? My mom would be like, what the hell are you doing? I'm just listening to my Walkman. You're not just listening to your Walkman. You're howling like a dying hyena in here. And I'm trying to vacuum. Cut it out, right? Yeah.
That's the jam.
That was the jam, man. That was a good album. How about Jesse's Girl? Rick Springfield. I had to put it in there.
Why? I got nothing for you. Sorry.
Pass. I'm going to pass on it. All right.
Look, I experienced it, which is why I have the right to say pass.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
So then we'll go from Jesse's Girl, naturally, to Beat It by Michael Jackson.
Oh God!
Michael gets 2 shout outs in this because it's Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Like like I said before, Eddie Van Halen playing that solo,
that video,
the
leather jacket with the zippers, the knife fight.
Yeah, I think so. I told you earlier, like I had that jacket.
Oh, we're not getting to fashion just yet. We're still in the music world right now. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get to the zippers, all of them.
Oh, I got so many.
Yeah. So Beat It, classic. All right, The Cure. Just Like Heaven.
Oh, they were so depressed in the 80s.
I was gonna say, I know a lot of people that were the Cure fans. I wasn't one of them.
I like the Cure, like Robert Smith, like
I think he's great, but I just like.
But that whole decade, I don't think he remembers because he was just so depressed.
Yeah,
like
right.
You fast forward until all of a sudden it's like Friday, I'm in love, and you're like, what? You just started taking pills? I don't understand. Magically, there you go. But good,
absolutely,
yeah.
Okay, all right. Mike, this one's for you. Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Do you remember that song? No?
No. So I know the song. I can't give you the context from the 80s. Because again, I was 4.
Well, we just thought you'd want to have fun with it.
Yeah. I mean, just want to have fun.
I just want to have fun.
So right. I can relate. I can relate. Yeah. Who is it? I remember that music video, and it was the wrestling manager from like WWF. Was
Bobby Heenan?
No, it wasn't Bobby. It was like Lou something. That was on that music video. I remember like he was the dad in the video.
Well, she had that whole like crossover into the WWF.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, it was. She. I think she was the epitome of like that was what girls looked like, sounded like, and like bangle bracelets and side ponytails and hairspray galore and neon color, everything, all that. Yeah, like, that was definitely Cyndi Lauper. All right, and then final one of music, "Take on Me" by Aha.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, like. I mean, that wasn't my jam, but like...
But the music video.
Oh, music video was fantastic.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy.
All that morphine and like doing all that stuff.
Yeah, like the black and white, like almost like the comic version. Yeah. That's why I picked it.
Yeah, it's good.
I remember that's classic. The only 2 things I need to add in there, you brought it up earlier, Beastie Boys' License to Ill, 1986.
Oh, yeah.
I just put it on because that was life-changing for me. That song, like that album, and like I had a cousin that was way into it. Got to see the Beastie Boys, had posters on his wall, and I used to go in like my grandma's guest room with my cassette tape and try to record like Brass Monkey and all the songs that would play on the radio.
Dude, that was the first time crazy. I ever thought like I could rap.
Yeah,
me and Paul Revere.
Sure, right. Yeah.
To this day.
Was it you and your horsey?
And a quart of beer.
Okay, all right.
We were riding across the land,
kicking up sand.
Yeah. Sheriff's posse was on my tail because I was into it.
Man, yeah. One lonely beastie I be, all by myself without nobody. The sun's beating down on my baseball hat. The air's getting hot. The beer's getting flat.
Looking for a girl. I ran into a guy.
His name is MCA. I said howdy. He said hi. Yes, absolutely.
It's still there.
So I call it out. And then, of course, Run DMC, 1984. They came out with their first album.
Yeah.
Which was, we talked about that earlier, but those are two big ones for me.
Like life-changing moments.
All right. We're moving on.
All right.
We're moving on. We're getting TV.
Oh, God.
Okay. TV, here we go. First one, Knight Rider. Now we're talking. Yeah.
Too young to listen to music.
Yeah. Hello, Michael. Please talk about the television show.
Listen, I had that car in every game that I played.
Yeah.
Every time that we would go outside, it was that car in some sort of cardboard box.
It was Kit in a cardboard box?
It became Kit.
Just
yeah.
Then Hasselhoff, like...
Hasselhoff, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the 80s gave us Hasselhoff.
Yeah. That's true. We got a little Hasselhoff. We had to take some pills.
Yeah.
Rub it down.
Yeah.
See a doctor.
Get some ointment.
If your Hasselhoff lasts for more than 4 hours, see a physician.
Not everything out of it that came out of the 80s was great.
No, but hey, you can't be mad, right?
I mean,
yeah.
But I'll watch it today.
Absolutely. I mean, like you think of like vehicles and modes of transportation that led television shows in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like you think of like Knight Rider, you think of like Airwolf, right? Like any type of vehicle had its own show. It seemed right?
Yeah.
All right. How about Alf?
Alf, the ugliest little alien you ever saw. I'm not sure what's going on with that nose. I think it was dual purpose.
Is it a dog? Is it an alien? Nobody knows.
I don't know either. Yeah, he always wanted to eat cats. Remember that?
That's right.
Which I think is the story behind the story. Yeah, I think that was ooh. Yeah.
Where's Alf?
That's what he do. I kill me. That was what it is. Yeah. That was a great show, man. That was a funny show. All right, how about the A-Team?
Oh, the A-Team. Like you had Mr. T in all of his gold glory.
Oh yeah.
Like scared as hell to get on a helicopter. You know, he had Face.
Yep.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to watch it.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I watched it.
Too much violence,
Just
right?
saying.
Right.
Like,
well, because like most kids of the '80s, your parents both worked.
Yeah.
And you were home by yourself.
That's right. Yep. Well, and I knew how to actually program the VHS machine in order to
get it recorded.
In order to record it.
Yeah. The A-Team was classic.
Yeah.
Who's the boss?
Who's the boss?
I'll tell you who I'd be the boss of.
Oh. Alyssa Milano.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
I think everybody bossed her around.
Wanted to boss her around, right? Yeah. I think that show, I don't know. That was, So,
every boy watched that show.
Yeah.
And would tell you 1,000 reasons why it was great. Stories.
Yes.
I learned so much from it.
Here's the thing. I couldn't tell you a damn thing about that show, and I watched every episode religiously.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yes. Okay.
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano. Okay. How about the Cosby Show?
Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, Puddin' Pop. You know,
Little Ruby.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know, man. I don't think I wanted to watch the Cosby Show, but then I just woke up and it was on. It was a good show.
I love the Cosby Show.
It was.
Actually, you think about the Cosby Show, and for a high affluent African American family.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That wasn't there.
Right.
Right. That was the first foray into that Dr. Huxtable and
absolutely
all that stuff. So
it was redefining and
absolutely and
groundbreaking.
It was meaningful. It was funny. It was relevant.
Yeah.
It pushed the envelope.
Yep. It dealt with social issues. It dealt with family issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I would agree. It was a good show. I liked it.
Yeah. I was all about Claire too.
Yeah.
She's hot.
Claire Huxtable?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not mad at you for that.
I didn't care about Lisa Bonet. So.
Yeah, Claire.
Yeah. I don't know what that says about me, but it's all good.
We're learning. All right. The Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah. Okay. So that was me.
Mm-hmm. Just a good old boy.
Oh gosh. Bo and Luke Duke. It's so bad that I went and saw Tom Wopat.
No.
In a production of Chicago, which was horrible. But the only reason I went was so that I could meet him. And I'm the guy that went up. He was selling his jazz CDs during the intermission. That's how you know how dank this stupid thing was.
Jeez.
And so I'm like, dude, I watched you religiously, and he couldn't care less.
Of course.
He's just like, yeah, that's why you bought this ticket.
Yeah.
Thank you for your money.
Yeah. Thank you for your money. Yeah. But you better own it.
But here's the thing: you can't watch that anymore. It's been outlawed from TV.
Yeah.
Because it has a
Confederate flag on the top. Yeah, that's too bad.
They're trying to figure out how do they digitally take it out,
delete it and erase it.
And I'm like, well, that's kind of what it was. So
yeah, man, it was kind of the essence of the show was the car. Again, a vehicle had its own show.
The car, and then also you just think of the term Daisy Duke.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah, it's a definition.
That was.
Look at them girls in the Daisy Dukes. Now that's 20 years later, but yes,
yeah. But that's where it came from.
Absolutely, it did.
And also a reason to watch.
Yeah. All right, Magnum PI.
The best mustache.
Selleck. Oh God, so great.
In his helicopter. Higgins, was that who?
Yeah, Higgins. Yeah. It was in a Ferrari,
dude.
It was a Lambo or it was a Ferrari?
No, it was a Ferrari.
Yeah, Ferrari. Yeah.
Red Ferrari.
Yeah, man.
Who didn't want to be that?
Come on.
Yeah. Dude, the storylines. Whatever.
Garbage. It was like it was like commercial porn. Like that's how bad the storylines were.
Yeah.
Like this is horrible.
Yeah. Actually, I think it started a whole industry in porn.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. That mustache did.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, the porn stash. Yeah, that was cool. All right, how about this is one of my favorite shows, MacGyver.
Right.
Give me a pineapple.
Give me a stick of gum, an ice pick, a tampon,
a AAA
battery, and a credit card. And I'm get us out of here. Yeah. I just like the problem solving and like that, come up with the craziest stuff.
Who was the actor? I can't remember his name.
I don't know. He had a mullet.
He did. I mean, he's MacGyver. Like,
yeah.
It's a cool show.
It was a really cool show. Yeah.
But it was always like, all right, what are the ingredients for this one? Yeah. And then how big is the explosion?
Well, exactly. It was the big explosion. It didn't matter what the ingredients were. It was like you knew he was going to get out.
He always got out. Yeah. It always exploded.
Yeah.
But still, you're like, oh.
Yeah, creativity. All right. How about this? The Wonder Years.
Dude, the Wonder Years was also dealt with a lot of social issues.
Yeah.
And that was about kids.
Right. Winnie.
Yeah. Everybody wanted some Winnie.
Winnie the Pooh.
You watch those kids grow up and go through all those different things and trying to figure out who's going to be with who and what. And you were living that at school that day.
I thought it was a cool concept on kind of like it was an adult reflecting back, right, on his childhood. Yeah. And I think that it made the storytelling element it was very real, kind of like I'm telling you the story of what I went through as a kid. And I think when you have stories like that dealt with some of those large issues, I think it made sense. I think it connected well. But yeah, it was a good show. I remember that was one of the shows. It was all right, we're gonna sit down and watch this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the parents fully endorsed that.
Yeah, right.
Because they're like, I don't have time to teach you any morals, but this show will.
And stop watching Who's the Boss.
That's right. I know what you're doing in there to Who's the Boss. Come watch some Winnie.
Right, it's Winnie. Yeah. All right, speaking of that, Pee-wee's Playhouse.
No. I think I'm getting a pass for each one of the categories.
We're not talking Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Not because I can't separate the two. I'm sorry.
That's what happens.
Yeah, the magic word. Yeah,
I think he was watching the Wonder Years when he got... All right, we'll go on to Family Ties.
Family Ties.
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Another show that taught a lot of stuff.
Yeah. It was a lot of family centric life lesson. That was a lot of the common themes of kind of the 80s. A lot of these shows was exactly that.
Yeah. And you had Alyssa Milano, and then you had Mallory, and so
pick and choose.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It was all about both brunettes.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess if you were under a certain age, you were a brunette. If you were over, that's when you got to be blonde.
Ah.
There you go.
Okay. All right, I'll go with that.
I don't know if that's real, but
I don't know. You said it, so it's a fact.
That's right.
Hashtag truth.
Hashtag Jason Truth.
Facts of life.
Why did I pass so soon?
You already burned your pass.
No.
Then you talking about the facts of life.
Garrett.
The facts of life.
And the thing I remember the most about the facts of life is that for some reason everybody thought one of the girls was I think it was Lisa Blair, was the hot one. Yeah. And it was the other one for me.
The motorcycle riding one? Yeah. The tomboy with the dark. Yeah. Another brunette.
Yes.
I'm catching the theme here, Mike. Write this down. We're seeing it here.
Just saying.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Tootie.
Note taken.
That's where Tootie came from, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All
right.
All right.
Tootie.
Tutti fruity. All right. How about Different Strokes?
Different.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis? Dude, the problem with with Different Strokes was everything was fine
during the show
until that one episode where it talked about like child molestation and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah,
and now it's like all you can think about,
like
know, Mr. Drummond and whatever that was.
Yeah, it was. It was. I think it was a show that addressed like kind of diversity and like I don't know. It was interesting. A lot of the social messaging that was in there.
I think the problem is that it tried too hard.
Yeah.
It was like pushing too many of those elements.
Yeah, right.
All at the same time.
Yeah.
I watched it religiously.
Yeah,
because that's what you did.
Right.
Yeah.
Watch
TV in the 80s. Nothing else.
That was it. Right. Yeah. You go outside and play.
You could.
Right.
Till whenever you wanted.
Till the street lights came on.
That's right.
You better be home. I just think about that now. Like literally, like I'm gonna go and play. Okay, see you at dinner time. I could be dead in the middle of a forest right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you learn a lot.
You get that one warning. You know, don't talk to strangers.
Right.
And you're like, okay, but I can go do anything else.
Anything else.
But talk to strangers.
Right.
Yeah. Peace.
Taking my bike and taking my Huffy and I'm out of here. Yeah. I got the one with the red button. And switch gears, go real fast. All right.
That walk of shame because you get home an hour and a half late. But there's no like calling. There's nothing else. No. They're just like
cell phone. You just show up.
Yeah. Hey.
Try to sneak in the back door and get down.
Yeah, I was here the whole time while you were
talking about. Yeah. All right. How about this? Let's go to Roseanne.
Also one of the not parent approved. I think because my mother was a little bit too much like Roseanne. Yeah, I was like, I recognize this.
Yeah. She was,
Dude, and then like what they just like replaced Becky.
Yeah.
They were like, why does Becky look different? Like, and they acted like nothing ever happened.
Well, that's how it goes on TV.
Yeah. Well,
they don't care.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
They get booted. They're rebooting it. Did you hear that?
I did.
Yeah. They're bringing it back with the whole original cast.
Yeah, but which Becky?
I don't know.
Ooh.
The one with the good hair?
Which one was that? Becky 1, Becky 2.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I just remember watching that show. Same thing though. It was like one of those like, there was issues they dealt with, but it was a very aggressive show.
Super aggressive. Yeah. But working families, barely making ends meet. You know, that's what resonated.
Yeah.
And then how did they deal with it?
Yeah.
If you deal with it through humor or, you've got the crazy sister, you've got, all that other stuff. I'm like, describe my life to a T.
Right. All right, how about Cheers?
Where everybody knows your name.
That's right.
Norm.
Yeah.
And was it Cliff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cliff the mailman?
Yeah, the mailman.
Yeah.
Who's in every Pixar movie.
Right? And then, exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah. And Woody Harrelson, bartender.
Yeah, dude. A lot
Ted
of people,
Danson.
Yeah. A lot of people launched from that.
Oh, a ton of people. I would say, I think it was one of those shows that because of the amount of actual talent in the actors and actresses that were on that show, that's what made it such a great show. Like, people really enjoyed it because it was like great writing, great comedians, great actors, great chemistry on set. Yeah. That type of thing.
Yeah, and it spun off, Frasier and,
Absolutely.
Great show.
All right. Sports Center started it. Right?
I mean, prior to that, you had to watch the game.
Right. There was no actual dedicated,
like
sports
reels
TV
and
shows. Yep.
Yeah. You read the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if people understand what that is.
It's that thing.
Look it up. Google newspaper and see what you find.
The news app.
Yeah. But SportsCenter started that whole thing. Yeah. It's an empire.
Yeah. Yeah. Quantum Leap.
Dude, that show was trippy.
That was trippy.
Yeah. We just jump into all the other stuff. For a show where it's he's dressed as a woman. That's trippy.
Yeah. Well, I think it reminds me of the kickoff for Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
It always started with him being somewhere, and like and then like I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, what's going on.
Yeah.
And kind of have to figure that out. And then you kind of like, you have to backtrack the story a little bit, and they got to follow and see what's going on.
Yeah.
To get to it. Yeah, that was interesting. It was a cool show, time travel and everything.
Yeah. It was. If I remember right, it was like I would be pretending I'm asleep. Mm-hmm. But just happen to be faced towards the TV, right? and sometimes got one eye closed in case like somebody were to like come and take a gander, but totally still watching. And then my mom would say, "Why are you so tired in the morning?" I'd be like, I don't know.
Watch the Quantum Leap. Damn, I'm Alyssa Milano. Right. How about Miami Vice?
Miami Vice. Mm-hmm. Polos and cocaine and and boat chases.
Yeah. Cool cars.
Yeah. Don Johnson. Yeah. It's I think for a lot of people it probably shaped like their fashion. Like, I wasn't that dude.
Right.
But sometimes you got to pop that collar up.
Absolutely.
Do what you got to do.
Throw like a braided belt with some white pants.
Yeah, see, there's
Sperry's.
been no time in Jason's life
loafers,
where I'm rocking white pants. But hey, that's not a thing. So,
all right, and then final TV show, Married with Children.
Dun, dun,
dun, love and marriage, love and marriage. It was kind of like it was almost like the answer to Roseanne, like you know what I mean, like just like in general, like. Kind of like she was the like leading empowered woman. She would like talk about her husband and make jokes and cracks and things like that. And then Al Bundy, was that and Married with Children, and kind of led the cast and it was
irreverent. It was all about the backwards of life, where like he was trying to get away from her, and it's just like the guy just wanted to be left alone, put his hand down his pants, right. You're like, what? Christina Applegate though, now we got a blonde.
There you go.
And then the freak neighbor, Marcy.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, that's an interesting relationship.
Interesting. Yep.
Interesting.
All right. We're going on to movies.
Okay, I'm going to be much more careful with my past this time.
Why is that?
Because I don't know what you got on that list.
I know. That's what we're going to go right now.
Can't blow it early.
All right. Okay. All right. Airplane.
Don't call me Shirley.
No, yeah.
That's amazing.
Shirley,
comedy.
You can't be serious.
Shirley.
I am. Don't call me Shirley.
Call me Shirley.
I speak jive.
That movie could not be made today.
No.
No. I'm surprised. Yeah. I'm surprised it hasn't been outlawed like Song of the South.
Right. Exactly. No.
So good though.
The funniest part was when that whole like airline thing happened the other week. With the guy that got his ass kicked on the airplane. And they showed the clip from Airplane. Everybody's lined up to slap the guy. Yeah. Great comedy.
So good.
So funny. Autopilot.
The blow-up autopilot.
Yes. Yeah. That's so great.
Well, I think he got some service too.
Yeah. Exactly. He was deflating.
Yeah.
Take care of. Yeah. Great movie. Okay. All right. Empire Strikes Back.
All right, Mike.
What you got?
Listen, I mean the Star Wars genre was still again like when I was a kid, but I remember watching that with my dad and him being extremely into that genre and it being nothing like anything I'd ever seen. At that point, I watched Fraggle Rock and Sesame Street.
Rock.
So it was one of those movies that was just captivating from the moment you sat down and watched it. And at the end, you just didn't even understand what happened, and I think it still has that following all the way till today.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was a good movie.
It's like for what it was, I mean, being the best of the three originals, like it's kind of the yardstick for that people still use for certain movies.
Absolutely.
Right? Between like plot twists and Luke, I am your father, and all of this stuff. Like, it was violent, but it was like also kind of trippy, going into the swamp and fighting yourself and doing all that stuff. Like, it had so many different elements. I think I had every character, vehicle, like, all of that. And now I can't look any of that shit up on eBay because it makes me really mad that my mom threw away all that stuff because I had it all. I could retire.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't have the Millennium Falcon anymore.
You can afford to buy that Ferrari from Magnum PI.
That's right. Yeah. At least you can grow the stash.
I could. I don't know socially that would help me advance anything in my life right now.
All right. Raging Bull.
So I remember that, but I don't remember it that well.
De Niro boxing movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was one of those for me. Same thing. Like I was kind of too young to be able to watch it, but watching it later on, and just remembering just like how what a good acted movie it was, that type of thing. It's good. I like it. The Shining.
The Shining.
Red Rum.
I think I was 30 before I actually watched it all the way through.
Yeah.
But prior to that, it had probably been like 30 different attempts.
Yeah.
And I would just puss out at one point or another because it's too psychological.
Yeah.
You're just like, I can't handle that.
Yeah.
Here's Johnny, and it still kind of freaks you out, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Think about just the premise. You're like, hey, we're just going to go take care of this place during the winter when nobody else is around, and it'll be okay. No.
Yeah. No, great horror flick, great movie, still today, relevant. Yeah.
So I think that's the genre of movie where it was scarier from what they didn't show you or what you didn't have to see all the blood and guts.
Right.
Versus movies today where it's like the shock factor.
Yeah.
I think the psychological element of a movie like The Shining is actually more terrifying than.
There's no CGI. There's no special effects.
Yeah.
No, it was just like crazy ass Jack Nicholson.
Right. Acting.
Who's legit kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You look at him today, just at a Laker game, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. All right, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Amazing.
Wow, I remember seeing that in theaters.
Yeah,
I remember
saw
seeing
that in theaters. Yeah. Taking out that whip and flying over, the chasm and everything else.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I recently was watching it with my kids, and they had never seen it, and they were just so bored. and I'm like, you're gonna finish this movie. You're
gonna love it.
You don't get a chance to pass on this because this is important to me, and I don't care. I sit through so much of your
crap,
garbage. But yeah, it was don't eat the figs.
Yeah, no, it was. I remember watching that movie, and I remember taking the beating heart out in his hand, and I mean, it was. There were some scenes. It was just I think it's maybe one of the greatest adventure type movies, like that element.
Yeah.
So many of other movies, like kind of similar to Star Wars, replicated just the feel, the tempo, the action, kind of how things happen, the story, that type of thing. But yeah, great movie. Blade Runner. Were you a Blade Runner fan?
I wasn't all that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it, and it was cool for what it was. But for some reason, just not that much. What about you?
No, not definitely not something that I was into.
Yeah. All right, cool. We'll pass on.
It was huge.
Yeah. Huge. Yeah. Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. E.T.
Phone home.
Oh gosh.
Elliot.
Elliot. So E.T. was a drive-in, right?
Yep,
so I saw it in a drive-in, which might have to go to the Google. Check that out. May or may not have been put in the trunk so that they didn't have to pay for me.
Oh, I think it's legal. That's fine.
Yeah. Stuff totally do now. It's
right,
totally
of course. Right,
just put your kid in the trunk.
Yeah.
Remember I was telling you that I had to watch shows to get morals?
Right.
For all the dark tabs inside the trunk is because of Jason in his trunk.
Right.
It was a big trunk, though. It was a Monte Carlo. Crying my eyes out. E.T. dies, and you're like, I can't. You just stop. That's all it was.
No, yeah, E.T. I remember. Great movie, but and the effects and just that's the part where he's in the woods, and like making noise out there, the trash can, like as a kid, like Jesus Christ, right? Not cool.
And I think I don't know how many times I tried to just pop a wheelie on my bike to see if it could get
see if it fly,
get it to go,
right? Nope,
E.T. dressed up in the sheet like with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes. Phoebe Cates.
Pool scene?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scarface.
Yeah. No. Too many people can hear this.
Definitely classic movie. Fast Time.
Yeah.
Fast Time. Scarface.
Again, it's one of those movies that has kind of like gone through the ages and still as relevant today as it was back in the time. And I remember seeing out of the 80s, seeing Scarface for the first time. But you felt it, out of all the elements that were in it, whether it be socially, politically, and what was happening, you felt part of that era, part of what was going on. And I think that movies like that actually transform you into what was going on in that time, where most just don't have that ability to captivate you in that way.
Yeah. Well, I think like the amount of violence in that movie, and just like the whole it was crazy.
But it was brutal. It survive at all costs.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it was real to the story. Like that was kind of the whole point of it, right? Yeah. But yeah, good movie though.
A good movie.
Yeah, good movie. Ghostbusters.
Best movie ever.
I
mean, so, like my entire family hates me for Ghostbusters because like I'll just pull out lines. Anytime I walk by a piano, it's just they hate it when I do that. It's the stupid lines that nobody remembers.
Right.
It scares the living shit out of you at the very beginning with that librarian. But you know, you got Slimer. That's what it was. And then the music from that. Yeah.
No, it was a great mix of like sci-fi and comedy, and I think this is something that people hadn't like really seen before like that.
Yeah.
Like a different. It was like sci-fi comedy, a little bit of like the scary horror part with the ghosts and things. Like it was cool.
Had a bigger story, but then at the end they blew up a big marshmallow man.
That's true.
Yeah.
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Yeah. I think the funniest part to me in that movie was when he's doing the ESP tests with the girl and the guy. Right? Yeah.
The girl got it every single time, no matter what. He's like, "You are a natural."
Yeah, she got them all wrong, and he didn't get it. Yeah, he's buzzing the guy. The guy's getting him right. Yeah.
He's like, "Come on!" He's like, "He's like, well, you're getting paid for this."
Yeah, it's so great, so great.
That's something I would do.
Yep. Terminator.
Skylab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Terminator. First, like for me, like first action adventure, kind of thing in that kind of sci-fi realm again.
Yeah.
Interesting that, like, just watching it today,
right?
In today's climate, like once again, like we're not making that movie today,
right?
Where a Terminator goes into a club and shoots up the club,
right?
Yeah, no, that's not what we're doing today,
right?
But for what that was, like, absolutely, Arnold Schwarzenegger, great,
yeah, a good movie.
I rewatch him now.
But absolutely. Great one-liners. Arnold's always good for one-liners.
That's all he's got.
Well, yeah, but that's
all he needed.
He was governor of California, too.
Right. The governor. Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. I just passed a DeLorean the other day. Took a shot of it. I was just like, because it had Mr. Fusion on the back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like
nice.
It was done up. I love that movie. Like, there's just nothing to not love about that movie.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, kind of mind twister things, but just sticks with you.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of plot holes, but it's okay though. All movies have them, right? All movies have them. The 80s have them, but I totally agree. Just the whole concept, the whole idea, the whole fun part of like the time travel, and having an impact on the future and everything like that. I think it was good. Great acting.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. No, it wasn't great. I mean, come on. If we're gonna be honest, I mean, not great acting with Biff. You know, Dog thinks he's gonna drown. You know, I'm like, it doesn't work. Like, come on, it's not great acting, but it's a great story.
Yeah.
And I will defend it until the day I die. But no.
All right. The Breakfast Club.
Oh, Molly Ringwald. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Judd Nelson was in that. Anthony Michael Hall.
Yep.
That started that whole like 80s power movies.
Yep.
Like
that teen power movie trio of actors and actresses.
Yeah. I think that's like almost like the birth of like, you know, Disney Channel movies and Nickelodeon and all that other stuff. It was just like, oh wow, we can like make a lot of money off of this.
Yeah.
Breakfast Club. I always get them mixed up sometimes, but that's not the one with Long Duck Dong in it. Or that was Pretty in Pink.
Yeah,
Pretty in Pink.
That's Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink. Yeah, I mean, you had like Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, like Weird Science, like a lot of those. Weird Science was great. Yeah. Yes.
I'm starting to feel like my childhood had a certain theme.
Yeah.
Oh, I was kind of lonely in the 80s.
I'm so lonely. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, love that show.
Yeah.
It's not about what we're going to do. It's about what we're not going to do.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think, and it was what do they call that? The fourth wall. Like breaking the fourth wall, when they talk to the audience type of thing. Just that whole idea. Again, another great like written movie and story and concept, and like I think that one was acted fantastically. Absolutely, a lot of fun. Yeah, great movie. Like relevant, tied into what people dealt with in high school and that whole type of thing.
So, it's like the launch of like leaving high school into what do you do and
Aliens.
Oh, Ripley. Look, listen, I know main characters, people.
Sure, all of them are female. At some point in the movie, all of them...
That's true.
See,
there you go.
Yep.
It's scary as shit.
Oh, scary.
Oh, my God.
Scary movie.
Yeah.
No.
Like... But there's a new Aliens that just came out.
Yeah. I know. Still a franchise. Yeah. Still going.
30 years later.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
The scene of that movie that was the scariest is coming through the air vents.
Yeah.
And like you're okay because you're behind the door. No, you're not.
Yeah. I'll have what he had. The special, right? Yeah. It comes to his stomach. All right. Stand By Me.
Stand By Me, that was super serious.
Yeah, drama. That was that like River Phoenix and
who was that
other guy? The young
how was that? He's in a ton of stuff.
Well, yeah, and he has his Michael Jackson jacket on in the videos.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Corey Feldman.
Yeah, Corey Feldman. Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that movie made me question walking anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I did not want to find a dead body.
I don't want to see a dead body. Right.
Like, and I live next to railroad tracks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not walking. I'm not looking.
Yep.
Like. Yeah.
Was that Sick Balls Chopper? Is that it, right?
Yeah. Chopper's Sick Balls.
Yeah, that's what it's Chopper's
Sick Balls.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great movie. Fatal Attraction. Jason.
Told you I was saving my pass. There it is, on the table.
Fatal Attraction. Oh, it's on the table.
Suck it.
Fatal Attraction. All right, next, Full Metal Jacket.
I wasn't allowed to watch that.
Yeah. Not many people were our age. Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, and I tried, and I tried, and there was just
Yeah.
And then when I watched it, when I was in my 20s, I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah.
Shouldn't have watched it then. I probably shouldn't have watched it now.
Yeah. It was a very honest assessment and real. Yeah. And especially coming out of like Vietnam and like there was, you know what I mean? Like I think it was people weren't talking about stuff like PTSD, and people weren't talking about like a lot of that element of having to be involved in war and things like that. And this was addressing that kind of socially, but in a very honest way.
This is what happens.
This is what really happens. Yeah.
You can't. You know, we're not going to create a cute little script about this.
No, it's real.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about it?
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Mm-hmm. I watched. You know, I wasn't the biggest Die Hard fan. Bruce Willis was a badass in it though. Mm-hmm. You know, but I don't know that I have that much of a connection to it.
Come on now.
Get him, Mike. Get him. Get him, Mike.
Listen, you're like, I don't know, Star Wars was okay.
No, absolutely not. Star Wars is fantastic. But so my wife this last Christmas asked me to watch a Christmas movie with her. Something we wanted to do at night.
Of course.
Die Hard.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
It's a Christmas movie.
Christmas movie.
What better to get you in the mood?
That's right.
Yeah.
The holiday
spirit.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. A good movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's iconic. It's, you know, batteries are named after it. It's good.
All right, last category.
All right.
Fashion.
Here
Here we go, baby. Number 1, Z Calvaricci's.
First off, there's no photographic evidence at all.
Yeah. I have a lot of photos.
That's not true. Yeah, I got some stuff. I got wearing some stupid stuff.
Yeah. Z Calvaricci's.
What color do you want?
Oh, you had to go black with the white tag.
Yeah.
On the fly. That was the only way to wear Z Calvaricci's. I had up hair.
Well, I think they were in 1980s dollars, they were like $1 million.
Yeah, they were expensive.
Yeah, they were expensive. It's you know, that was in the genre of what the hell do you think I made of money?
Right.
It's
you want to wear these tapered dancing pants?
Yeah. They're not cords.
To school? Right.
I'm going to get you these cords.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Mom.
Okay.
Wrong.
I remember them quite often. I remember girls were wearing the parachute pants. The black parachute pants at school, and then the guys would wear the Z Calvaricci's because they were a different type of material.
Yeah.
Zubas.
Okay, Mike had a reaction. Mike had a reaction.
So here's the thing. I look back at the 80s and see that this was the fashion trends, and my fashion trend was Huggies and Oshkosh B'gosh. That's what I wore in the 80s. But why? Just why?
Why not?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Why not?
Dude, that's the theme of the 80s. Is why not?
Why not?
Why the hell not?
Yeah. Why not? Zubas was quite the trend. Yes, I have no excuses. I can't do this. I mean, hey, look, you go to any Gold's Gym today, you're still going to see a pair.
In every city across America, there's still that guy.
I want to talk about shoes. Vans, Lacoste, and Le Coq Sportif.
I was an off the wall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had Vans. You know, that was just the jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skater shoes. Okay.
Yeah, skater shoes are what I aspired to. What I actually wore was on Kmart Blue Light Special.
Right. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean they all had the knockoffs.
Yeah.
No, Vans I think were that shoe that you looked at and represented the genre that you really connected to.
Yeah.
And it was always something I saw my cousins wear. So other people, but it was that thing and then again in the 90s it changed to Airwalks and everything else, but just kind of evolved from there. But Vans were cool.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I remember there was Vans, there was K-Swiss.
Tree Torn, which were the other canvas shoes. But they were lace up. Those were all the preps.
Yep.
With the rolled up peg pants.
Sperry's came out kind of in the 80s. They made a hit.
Yeah.
Elise were the half basketball shoes that were it was velvet or suede shoes. Yeah, something like that.
The 80s were all about texture.
Yeah, a lot of texture. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All right. Triple Fat Goose.
Triple Fat Goose.
Yeah, baby.
All right,
so
Lozo confession.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Dude, growing up in Michigan and in the cold. So Triple Fat Goose were like the big goose down winter coats and jackets.
Oh, see, I got a reason for not knowing that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I was like,
they probably didn't even sell them in California.
No.
But Triple Fat Goose for us in the Midwest and the North, like that was the thing, and like New York and stuff. But they were like, they would make like suit, like they were like we'd be like puffy jackets,
kind of
like yellow.
Man,
yeah, exactly, like that type of stuff. Yeah. But they kind of took that and then they made it a little bit more '90s stylish. So it was kind of like. They almost looked like Tommy Hilfiger jackets at the time, but it was more urban type of thing. But yeah, Triple Fat Goose was a big thing in Michigan. I know.
Yeah, no, it's not cold inside.
Yeah, open up your jacket. It was gray on the inside. Had the goose logo on it. You know, it was real goose feathers. Down. Because I'm down with that.
Yeah,
down.
Are.
I'm down like my comforter.
I'm down like my Triple Goose.
Yeah, Triple Fat Goose. Fantastic. All right. Yeah. How about acid wash jeans? I know you know a lot about that, don't you?
That's all you had was acid wash jeans. The more acid, the better.
Yeah, right. To the point of getting holes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, like, that was a staple. Everybody wore that.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't even something you aspired to. It's just
that's what everybody wore.
Just had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Now the brand, that depended.
Oh, okay. What brand?
You get some Guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might get some action.
I remember Guess jeans. I remember was it Maurice Francis Gerbeaus? Gerbeaus.
I had a Gerbeaus shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whip that puppy out only on special occasions.
That's right.
Can't flash that all the time.
Not all the time.
No.
Levi's.
Yeah.
Trying to remember what other jean companies. That's about it. Wrangler.
Yeah. No. I mean, yes. Oh, or Lee.
Lee. Yeah.
Lee Huskies.
Yes, Huskies.
Yeah. See, in the 80s, we didn't have a problem calling fat kids names. Right. So it's like,
description.
Jason, well, what you're looking for is the husky section. And you're like,
Huskies. Yes.
And then when you add huskies, like, so I was husky, right? I'm cool. And you add corduroys, right? Because all you get is
you use fire starter.
Yeah.
Fire starter.
And after about 3 weeks, there's nothing but bare spots, like on your inner thighs where the cord would like wear off. And then you're like, but all of your school money had been blown,
dude.
And so you had to wear them the rest of the year.
I remember one time that I had to go to school, and my mom had forgot to put the laundry in the dryer, before we that morning or whatever. Okay. So she's like, "Oh my God, we gotta dry your jeans and your pants," and she put them in the dryer for 10 or 15 minutes, and I went to school in somewhat wet still corduroys.
Like Chewbacca.
God, that was not good. Wet corduroys, not a good move.
Yeah, those don't dry.
Yeah, no,
no, they don't naturally dry.
Yeah, not a good move.
That's where you bring the word moist.
Yeah, yes. That's a good time to use that word.
Yeah, moist.
Yeah, moist.
Shout out to Alyssa.
Shouts.
Same. If you're out there, moist.
Alyssa Milano.
That's what I wanted. No.
All right. How about boom boxes? You guys have a boom box?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bigger the better.
Yeah. Like a Magnavox, like a Ghetto Blaster. That's what we used to call them.
Yeah.
Detroit.
So being that I grew up kind of poor, but I think my mom always had somewhat of a guilty trip because she was out doing her own stuff.
Right.
So every so often I could manage the divorce, right? And you kind of pit one parent against the other with the pity thing.
Right.
And so every so often I would get the new hot thing, but it'd only be once every so often. And I use that card for the boombox,
nice.
Right?
Yep.
So you've got a husky, extremely white kid, right?
Corduroys.
Yeah.
With a double tape deck boombox.
Yeah. Thinking he was a shit.
Yeah.
And he was.
And he was.
That's right.
That's right.
Trying to do some breakdancing, like I said, in my grandma's living room. They were mad because I had all these kids over. Never could master that windmill.
Yeah, until you blew the crotch out of those husky boys. Because that's what happens when you're a husky trying to break things.
They may split every so often. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But you don't break dance with cords on. Come on.
That's right. Yeah.
There's standards.
There's principalities involved. Okay. All right. What about starter T-shirts and starter jerseys?
That wasn't the thing in SoCal.
Yeah, that was the thing for me.
Yeah,
for sure.
Nope.
For sure. I remember doing paper routes and then working for my uncle at his catering company, doing like dishes every summer and getting paid in cash and buying starter T-shirts like David Robinson and Clyde Drexler. And then I had a Miami Hurricanes green pinstripe starter jersey.
There you go.
Yeah, because I think I got a couple pictures of that.
There you go.
Yeah. I had a lot of starter was the shit back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you were into sports and like everybody was into starter stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starter jackets. Yeah. Like I had the Michigan one. My sister had like the Notre Dame one. It's a big logo on the back and that type of thing.
I remember also the track suits.
Yeah, tracksuits. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's on the list as well.
Okay.
Yep. Nope. Tracksuits and fanny packs.
You just had to find something to put in your fanny.
Right. Yeah.
Make it look like it was full. Why?
Yeah. Fanny packs. Mullets.
Yes, well, everything starts with a mullet.
Yeah. Well, I'll even say mullets / rat tails, because I know I had a rat tail.
Oh, I had a rat tail too.
Yeah.
That's where it all started.
Yeah.
And I was going to Christian school at the time,
right.
And I wanted a rat tail.
Yeah.
Which caused quite the stir in the Christian school community.
Right.
And I remember getting pulled to the principal's office. And they cut it off.
What?
Yeah. Also things
in the 80s.
Things in the 80s, right? They were like, this isn't allowed. They cut it off. They actually put it in a plastic.
You give it back to you?
He gave it back to me. With the instructions that I had to go take it to my mom and explain what had happened. But my mother sent me to Christian school so that they would teach me morals.
Gotcha.
Also that kind of theme that we were talking about. So she had some words with the administration. And then I got moved to a different Christian school.
Wow. Yeah. You can't be cutting rat tails like that.
Dude.
It's not a good move. No. If you were Puerto Rican, somebody would have died.
In the neck, instantaneously.
Husky white kids, not so much.
Yeah. Puerto Rican, that's... Come on, man.
It wasn't even that long. It's probably
like a short one.
Yeah.
Short baby rat tail.
Yeah, it was like the start of it.
So you cut it off, and then you went wide and went full mullet?
Yeah. I was like, I'll show you. Watch this.
All right. Okay. We mentioned this a little bit earlier, but Michael Jackson style.
Oh man, I begged my grandmother for that jacket. So we went down to Montgomery Ward's, down at the mall, and it was, I want to say it was like $50 or $60.
Yeah.
Which in the 80s was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was begging her, and she somehow gave in, just to shut me up. But I wore that thing. It was so hot. Dude, it's so hot. It was the summer.
All those zippers?
I'm sporting this pleather jacket, right, with 50 different zippers on it, sweating, right, just full sweat. I ain't taking it off.
Right.
No, I'm gonna own it. Yeah.
Do you wear the glove though?
No, I can't pull off the glove.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull off the jacket either, but I did.
Which made it happen.
I did.
Yeah, no, it was, he had some outfits, the 80s, his own little style.
Oh, goodness. Mm-hmm. This is what we are.
Yeah, I'm with, okay, all right. What about Mickey Mouse clothing?
I watched the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I had a
t-shirt or something.
Yeah.
I remember coming down to Orlando from Michigan, for a vacation, like a summer vacation for like a week. And this picture actually exists, but I bought I think it sounds so. It's I'm in an Ocean Pacific T-shirt,
OP.
No. I'm actually in a Hard Rock Cafe T-shirt.
All right.
With a fanny pack.
Gotta have
and some neon shorts that were like Isaiah Thomas, like, you know, short shorts, like I'm about to run a marathon. 4 inches above the knee, with long tube socks with the stripes on them.
Yep, red stripes.
Yep, red or blue, maybe. Yep, and then the goofy hat from Disney World or from Disneyland, right?
Yeah.
No, you guys are World here. Yeah, Orlando's World, right? Yeah.
With the big long ears.
Right, with the long ears.
Yeah.
That was much. And then I put on my Ocean Pacific jacket on the outside of that full neon.
To complete the ensemble.
To complete the ensemble of the 80s. Right? Yeah. But I mean, I remember Mickey Mouse clothing, like that was a big thing. And then like, because it was also, you had like airbrushing started to kind of pop off. People were doing like all the Looney Tune characters and Disney characters on airbrush t-shirts.
Tasmanian Devil. Yeah.
Tasmanian Devil, yep. Yeah, I think my sister had that t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you catch some play with that outfit?
Negative.
No?
Yeah.
Shocker.
Didn't work so well.
I don't understand why.
I don't understand why.
You should try it today and see if it works.
Oh, it'll work. That's for damn sure. It'll work. It'll pull off anything. Yeah.
I'll buy you the outfit. And we can go to Disney together.
Man, as long as it's the same size that I wore back when I was 8 years old. Yeah.
Well, I can make that happen.
It's got to be the same size, right? Oh my God, yeah. Avon sweaters.
Avon, like, dude, it was so depressing when you had anything Avon.
Hey, my grandma was an Avon lady. I personally put this on here because I got Crayola crayon sweaters every year with like red up top and then yellow and then green and then blue. And horizontal stripes. Yeah. I just have to wear them to picture day. Yeah. For us husky kids.
We always tried to avoid the stripes.
Yeah, go horizontal stripes.
Yeah, I'm like,
works well for you.
Look at the barrel go.
Yeah, landscape.
Yeah,
great.
No, Avon stuff. Like, you were just ashamed. Like, you know, and it was the deodorant. It was everything that was there, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, man. I was a collector. I was an Avon connoisseur. Me and all my cousins.
No choice.
Yes.
We gotta support Auntie over here.
You go to the Christmas tree and you pick up that one gift and it was like soft.
You're like,
squeeze it.
No.
This
is a bunny suit.
Yeah, exactly. How about peg pants, rolled pants?
Oh,
rolled pants.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. I'm about to say. Yeah. It's coming back now.
It is.
Yeah, I saw some kids doing it the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember doing that.
I'm like, you don't deserve it.
You don't deserve that.
No.
You know what that's like. Yeah, your acid wash jeans and little, you know.
Yeah, the tighter, the better.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You know, you had to get it just right.
Just right.
Where the fold was in the back.
Yep.
You know.
Exactly.
So you got idiots that were like off center.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Yeah, it's got to be enough so that when you sit down, it can slightly go up and down without undoing itself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Or you had the idiots that like did it so tight that it probably amputated their foot.
Right. Yeah. It turns our foot. Yep. What about Kango? You ever get into Kango? I got into Kango.
No.
LL Cool J.
Wear the visors.
Yep. Yeah, Kango hats and
No.
No?
Not so much.
I still wear Kango hats today.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. Sneakers with no laces. You ever get into that? Run DMC,
Run DMC
my Adidas.
Style,
Yeah.
And if they weren't Adidas, then you needed to go home.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shell toes, no laces.
Right, because it's my house. Whose house? Run's house. Croquis. Did you ever wear Croquis? Those stupid ass things for your sunglasses?
Oh my god! Oh, how dare you!
I did it.
Of course you did. Yes, yes. That's like one of those.
You had your Oakleys on. You
put my blades.
Your Croquis on the back.
Blades.
Yeah, your blades, man.
I had the original blades.
Yeah, Brian Bosworth.
Yes, like they're purple iridium.
Yes.
None of that made sense, but they were just the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
Your neon green Croquis.
That's right.
Yeah.
Croquis. Yeah.
I was like, what the hell's a Croquis?
Let's see. Yeah, you forgot. Yeah.
I'm like, probably.
I was doing some research and I was like, oh yeah, Croquis. That. All right, and then headbands.
Headbands, no.
Never got into Bret Michaels like.
No. Once again, Husky Kid can't pull off that thing. with it used to be rat tail.
Yeah, rat tail. Yeah. No. I remember. Yeah, I don't know that I ever wore. Like, I think I wore like a T-shirt on my head a couple times, like a headband, but never got into like headbands like that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, not that.
And then finally, just big hair. I remember that in the 80s. Like, just like looking back at like my sister's like pictures from like middle school and like
an entire can of Aquanet.
Yeah, like 10-inch hair in the front, ridiculousness.
Yeah. No, I had some hair, but I didn't do the spray stuff or flock of seagulls crap or any of that stuff.
You didn't tease it?
No, I didn't tease that.
Alyssa Milano.
Hashtag Alyssa.
Yeah, dude, that's it. We made it through 80. We went a little bit longer than expected, but we got through everything. So this is our chat on the 80s, guys.
That's a trip down memory lane.
Man, wasn't it? Cool. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah,
really appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. It was my pleasure, and we love talking about the 80s. We'll keep it going.
That's right.
I'm about to go home and watch Who's the Boss.
I got a little bit of education.
Yeah. Mike was taking notes all the time. Yeah.
It's all online.
It's all online now. It's all on the interwebs.
There it is.
All right, y'all. We are out of here. Deuces. The Life of Lozo podcast is brought to you by Stay Tuned Studios, STS Podcast, The Taylor Shop Inc., 03 Productions, The Beat Brigade, Rhyme Designs Clothing, and Jack Sports Nutrition. Please visit the links in the episode details, subscribe to the podcast, like us on every platform, and give me 5-star reviews, please, and tell everybody you know to listen and check it out. Thanks, y'all. Talk to you next week. Peace.